Hi, I'm Jackie. I made this video for you if you tend to have bow legs and you're probably getting some knee issues and some hip issues. It's a routine you can try. I think it will really help you to have less pain and slow down the progression of the structural issues that you're having. So creating more muscular balance will help your bones, your knees and your hips especially. And I hope it works for you. Please let me know how you go. I recommend doing it 3 times a week, but maybe even every day. It'll feel good for you. So you can go on how your body feels. For the first exercise to strengthen your inner thigh is lying on your right side down, and I've got my left leg forward here. This is my left leg, and the right leg is the straight leg, or trying to get it straight anyway. Try your hardest to get this right leg straight. So you can do it like this as well. But so you've got my left leg behind me, and I'm trying to straighten my right leg as hard as I can, squeezing that right knee as straight as I can get it. And I think it's more effective to keep that left knee forward if you can, because then you get the inner thigh in the centre of the inner thigh more. And so you can try a bit of both though. But after a while you start feeling your muscles working quite hard. So if you're not used to it, do it for as long as you can. Lift and lower. Exhale, lift, pause, lower down halfway. Exhale, lift, pause, 2, 3, lower down halfway. Lift, pause, 2, 3, lower down. And when you get really strong, you can add leg weights. But I think your leg is actually enough weight. You can just stay up. See what I'm doing here? I'm just holding it and keep working on straightening that knee and squeezing the muscles into your inner knee. And that's going to really help you to slow down the progression of the bowed-legged structural problems there. So keep your muscles strong. You can affect your muscles and your bones, but you need to work hard. You can slow down structural issues getting worse as you get older, and sometimes you can fix them. Or I'm feeling that's enough for my thigh. So obviously we'll do your other side. If one leg has worse bow-legged tendency, then you could do extra on that side. Otherwise we'll do about the same on each side. So this is my right leg here, left leg. Remember, you can do it like that. But I think it's more effective to really get right in the body of the inner thigh, to do it if you can like this. And you might need padding under your hip if you're on a thin mat or thin carpet. This is quite thick carpet. And so you lift and you try to straighten, and you should feel your inner thigh muscles or your adductor muscles. Exhale, lift. If your neck's not comfortable, put a pillow under your head. Try to get your neck as comfortable as you can while you work into your inner thighs. This will be really hard for you if you're not used to this, and if you have a weakness there. And if you've made that discovery that it's really hard exercise for you, that's a great discovery to make, because now you've got something you can work on that will improve your whole body and probably your whole life. Because if you're moving more freely and you have less pain and you hold off an operation, that's going to be a good thing in your life. So yeah, if you're finding you're weak, great. Something you can work on to improve your body. Remember, you can just stay, once you start getting strong, you probably won't need this video. If you've done it lots of times, you'll just know the exercises, so you won't be needing to get onto the computer and watch me anymore. So eventually you won't need to do it with me, you just do it on your own. And I'm feeling my inner thighs are getting really fatigued now, and I don't have bow legs and I am strong, so for you it's probably too much, but build up your strength over time. to try to keep up with me. Oh, that's enough for me on that side. Okay, so the next one, we're going to actually be staying on the left side and working on internal rotation. See what I'm doing here with my right hip? So you know the clam, if you know my videos, we often do that. That's an exercise called the clam, which strengthens the outer hip. So that would be good if you had knock-kneed. See that? So my knees are together. And then I'm internally rotating that right hip. Now, if you want to put a resistance band around your ankles, that would make it a bit harder. So you'd need to push. So that would be a good addition. Resistance band around the ankles. You can add on the odd externally rotate, but actually what you need more if you have bow legs is the internal rotation in the hip, in the thigh bone, the hip socket. So remember, if you have knock-kneed, you do more of the clam, but that will be another video. So this is more for the bow legs. I'm starting to feel my muscles a bit now, actually. So you go into it, pause, and slowly release. Internally rotate, pause, slowly release. Internally rotate, pause, and then roll over onto your right side. So you'll be doing your left hip internal rotation. So you're on your right side, your knees are a bit bent, and you're doing that. So your knees stay together. One side will often be easier. So often, a lot of us, one hip has more internal rotation, and one hip will have a bit more external rotation. If your hips are a bit twisted like mine, you can correct by doing extra on one side. So I'm going to actually do less on this side, but I don't want to confuse you. But if you notice one thigh turns in more, obviously you do a bit less on that side, a bit more on the other side. So you don't always have to do perfectly even. If one side you feel like you could do heaps more, that's usually your strongest. So you should actually probably do less on that. So go into the internal rotation, pause, and then release. Okay, so that's great little exercises to do. We'll do a few more. So this is quite an important one. If you've got bow legs, you'll be weak in your inner thighs. Your tendency you'll be really tight in your outer thighs. So this is a great, so I've got my right leg up first, like that. And this is a really good stretch to weave into your life. And it'll actually complement the other exercises to head in the right direction. Strengthen your inner thighs. Loosen up your outer hip, your outer thigh. A few deep breaths here. Always helps to get a bit more stretch. One more deep breath. And then let's do the left hip, outer hip. Should feel a stretch in the outer hip thigh here. It's also a good stretch for your lower back if your lower back gets stiff. I hope you do a lot of my videos because it's a whole body thing, of course. You can't just do one video over and over. But if you do have bow legs, I would be doing this video maybe every day for a month and see how you go. Or just see how your body feels. Maybe every day is too much. Maybe every second day. Maybe your body feels worse initially and then it feels better. Just experiment. One more deep breath in and out. Not every exercise will be good for everybody. So you need to take responsibility for your body. And YouTube is not going to fix everything. Okay, so we're going to do 2 more exercises and they involve standing. So make your way up to standing now. So bring your feet parallel, hip width, and then I want you to lift your heels up. And initially it's good to have a wall as well. So see what I've got? I've got the wall. I don't need the wall, but when you start, have a wall like this. So I'll show you the exercise. Heels up, and don't let the ankles splay out like that. So actually squeeze them in. Squeeze the inner ankles in. So try to roll your feet in. So you try, see, that's called eversion. That's invert, evert. So you're trying to get that happening, because what happens with bow legs, your feet are sort of going more like that, supinating. So you want to go towards eversion or pronation and then heels up. So you'll need that wall initially. So you roll into the base of the big toe. So don't let the ankles roll out. So roll in a bit or go into the inner foot, lift your heels up. And you strengthen your calf as well, and your outer ankle, and your inner knee. So initially you'll be a bit weaker with these muscles. So have your hands on the wall so you get the actual technique and you build strength without worrying about balance. So you're working on the weight into the base of the big toe, and your calf muscles strengthening, your ankles, and correcting the tendency to be a bit like that. So in this one, it's good to you come into it, pause, and slowly lower. You come into the exercise, pause, slowly lower. Lift, pause, slowly lower. And if one leg is worse than the other, you need the wall, but you do one leg at a time. And you can do extra on the weaker side, on the side that has more bow-legged tendency. So you could do one at a time. It's a really good way to build strength even more and target one side even more. And we've got one more exercise. So you need a pillow or a yoga block. If you have a yoga block, you can use a yoga block in between your thighs like this, or you could just use a pillow in between your thighs like that. So, or cushion or a bolster. So hold something in between, a book in between your thighs, and squeeze into that. And we'll just lean forward and back. So try to have your back straight. So don't round out. Let's just go to like that, squeezing into that block or that pillow. You might pick up a heavy thing, but make sure you've got good technique. You're using your core. You might pick something up. Squeeze that block. And if it's hard for you, as I've said before, good discovery. If you find an exercise that you're really struggling with, you found a weakness in your body, this is something you can work on to make your body feel better. And it might improve your quality of life if your body feels better. So that's a good one too. And just being more aware of your posture throughout the day. Of course, more equal weight in your feet. Try not to let your keep correcting. I hope these exercises work for you. Please let me know and share with other friends if you notice people going in that direction. And don't sit too much with a slouch posture as well. So thank you. Please subscribe. Please do all my videos. Make your whole body stronger. Thanks.